95.1 FM. Here's the news highlight. Ekiti State Governor Mr. Biodo Yebanji has declared 2026 as a year of unlimited opportunities for the government and people of the state, promising to sustain the rapid development being witnessed across all sectors. Oyebanji in a statewide broadcast to mark the new year, which was aired across all radio and television stations in the state programs and policy. Given service scheduled to service hosted by the Ekiti State Awolowo Civic and Convention for His Grace. Election scheduled to hold on June Electoral Commission 9th December to him and the PDP from the pricing, noting that the watchful eyes of the officials of Independent National Electoral Commission. Management Agency, Nigerian Insurance Building on Martin's significant concern among the public of the distress. The state government has disclosed that the 30 billion January 20, the government also revealed approved to the state government being withheld by relevant federal agencies. The Northeast Nigeria disclosed this on Thursday in a viral video burning along opportunity to spare their blood by converting movies perceived to as retail enclave in Sokoto for the implementation of the new on borrowing and amid recent calls for the suspension by the National Assembly that binds citizens. Meanwhile, the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, on Thursday unveiled Nigerians' first baby of the year 2026, born at exactly 12 midnight at the Federal Medical Center, Abuja. Born to the family of Mr. and Mrs. Celestine Adakole, baby Zion Adakole was delivered via cesarean section to a 26-year-old first-time mother, Mrs. Patience Adakole. As part of a tradition aimed at spreading love, particularly in support of maternal and child health care, Mrs. Tinubu presented a national birth certificate issued by the National Population Commission to the newborn as the baby of the year. The federal government says it has achieved notable progress in implementing the African Continental Free Trade Areas in 2025, boosting trade integration and private sector participation across Africa. Dr. Jumoke Odunwole, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, disclosed this in a statement on Nigeria's AFCFTA implementation progress. Odunwole said that the AFCFTA remained central to Africa's ambition to create a unified continental market through tariff liberalization, reduce non-tariff barriers, and enhance regulatory cooperation. A faction of the Labour Party, led by its embattled national chairperson, Julius Abure, claims that the LP made a mistake in selecting Peter Obi as its presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. Obiora Ifo, the national spokesperson of the LP faction, stated this in a statement on Wednesday night, shortly after Mr. Peter Obi defected from the LP to the African Democratic Congress. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has called on the federal government to recommit itself to the protection of lives and property, insisting that the 2026 must mark a decisive shift towards people-centered governance. In a New Year's message to Nigerians, the party stated that the country was entering 2026 amid deep-seated challenges that continue to threaten livelihoods, security, and democratic stability, noting that insecurity, economic hardship, and uncertainty have become the lived reality for millions of citizens. In business, Nigeria's banking sector recorded a rise in bad loans in 2025 after the Central Bank of Nigeria withdrew the regulatory forbearance granted to lenders during the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the Apex Bank latest macroeconomic outlook report. The report showed that the banking industry's non-performing loans ratio climbed to an estimated 7%, exceeding the prudential benchmark of 5%. The CBN said the increase reflected the impact of ending temporary reliefs earlier granted to banks to cushion the effect of pandemic on borrowers. In entertainment, filmmaker Lily Perez has accused Chiney Love of plagiarizing her film A Christmas to Love, claiming that the similarities point to a clear case of creative deficiency. On Instagram, Perez highlighted multiple parallels between the two films, including the lead character's name, storyline, and certain key scenes. Chiney Love, however, defended the work, insisting that her film is entirely original, conceived from her own very ideas and written on her bed. She added that her end resemblance to Perez's film was purely coincidental, asserting that she had never seen A Christmas to Love prior to making her own. In sport, Arthur Okonkwo's nationality switch from England to Nigeria has been officially approved, according to a report from the country. The 24-year-old Okonkwo had represented England during his youth career, playing for the under-15, under-16, under-17 and under-18 between 2015 and 2018. But with no further call-up since then, Okonkwo had decided to switch allegiance and make himself eligible for Nigeria. Though he was born in England, Okonkwo's parents are from Nigeria, hence his eligibility for the change. And finally, in the foreign scene, Russia said Kiev was behind a drone strike in an hotel in the Moscow-held part of Ukraine's southern Kherson region that killed at least 20 people celebrating the new year, accusing it of sabotaging peace attempts. The accusation came at a crunch moment after weeks of diplomacy aimed at bringing an end to the nearly 4-year war, and as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said, his country was 10% away from a peace deal. Tens of thousands of people have been killed, eastern Ukraine decimated, and millions forced to flee their homes since Russia launched its all-out offensive in 2022. And that's Ayuba Newsroom highlighted and edited by Compassion Adebayo. I am Moyosola Zubar. Thank you for listening.
Number 1. There is something magical about those two words. For you to be number one radio station, you've got to be number one in the reading book of your listener. The number one station they can rely on for up-to-date news, sport news, maximum entertainment. The only station they can depend on anywhere, anytime, for everything. Talk of these qualities, and that's us you're talking about, because we see and we know better. Ayoba 95.1 FM, your number one lifestyle radio.
Ayoba 95.1 FM, Ado-Ekiti.
Believe in better.
Experience the joy. Ayoba 95.1 FM.
Ayoba 95.1